What if the greatest obstacle in your life is not failure, but the comfort of dreaming? Imagine spending years talking about the person you want to become, imagining success so vividly that it feels almost real, only to wake up one day and realize your life has not changed at all. No progress, no mastery, only wasted time hidden beneath beautiful ambitions. This silent trap destroyed countless people long before the modern world existed, and the samurai understood its danger better than anyone. Centuries ago in feudal Japan, there lived a young warrior named Renji who dreamed of becoming one of the greatest samurai in the empire. Every night, while others rested after exhausting training, Renji sat beneath glowing lanterns, imagining his future. In his mind, he saw himself leading armies, defeating rivals in legendary duels, and earning honor that would make his family name immortal. He read stories of famous swordsmen for hours and spoke endlessly about the warrior he intended to become. His dreams were so vivid that they almost felt real. But there was one problem. Renji rarely trained. Whenever the moment came to practice, excuses appeared effortlessly. Some days he claimed he needed more rest. Other days he convinced himself he needed a better strategy before beginning. Sometimes he spent entire afternoons preparing schedules and planning techniques instead of actually touching his sword. He believed that because his ambitions were powerful, action would naturally come later. Tomorrow, he told himself, would be the day he finally began. But tomorrow is a dangerous word. Weeks passed, then months, then years. While Renji continued dreaming, the warriors around him transformed through repetition and discipline. Boys who once admired him became stronger, faster, and more respected. Their movements grew sharp from endless practice, while Renji remained trapped in the same place, carrying enormous dreams inside an unprepared body. Slowly, he began to understand a painful truth. His fantasies were not helping him move forward. They were protecting him from the discomfort of real effort. This is one of the greatest illusions of human nature. Many people believe motivation creates action, but often imagination itself becomes the enemy. The human brain rewards us for talking about goals, almost as if we have already achieved them. We feel productive while making plans, discussing ambitions, and imagining future success. But nothing actually changes. We mistake emotional excitement for progress. The samurai recognized this weakness centuries ago. In their world, discipline mattered more than feelings, because feelings could never be trusted. A warrior who trained only when inspired would lose to the warrior who practiced regardless of emotion. The battlefield did not care whether someone felt motivated. It only revealed who had prepared consistently. One of the greatest swordsmen in Japanese history, Miyamoto Musashi, understood this better than most. Musashi did not rely on bursts of inspiration or sudden transformations. Instead, he built his strength through small daily actions, repeated over and over again. He knew mastery was not created in dramatic moments of motivation, but through habits so consistent they became part of a person's identity. This is why the samurai became feared across Japan. Their strength did not come from emotion. It came from routine. They practiced when tired. They practiced when bored. They practiced when they doubted themselves. Training was not something they waited to feel ready for. It was simply what they did. Modern people often believe they must feel motivated before beginning something difficult. But motivation is unreliable. It appears suddenly and disappears just as quickly. If your future depends on emotion, then your future becomes unstable. The samurai believed action must come first. Momentum creates motivation, not the other way around. Once movement begins, energy follows naturally. The warriors even had teachings built around this idea. They believed that massive achievements are created through tiny repeated improvements. A mountain is not climbed in one leap. It is climbed step by step. Looking only at the summit makes the journey feel impossible, but focusing on the next small step allows progress to continue. Imagine a young samurai student who feels too lazy to train for hours. Instead of quitting completely, he practices one sword movement every morning. Only one. His friends laugh at how small the effort seems, but he continues anyway. Days become weeks, weeks become months. Eventually, that single movement becomes effortless. His discipline strengthens. His body adapts. The tiny action repeated consistently begins transforming him into something far greater than motivation alone ever could. Meanwhile, others continue waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect moment, the perfect burst of inspiration that never truly arrives. This is the hidden danger of endless preparation. Planning can become a sophisticated form of procrastination. Talking about goals creates the illusion of movement, while life quietly slips away. The samurai understood that time is merciless. Every delayed action weakens the future version of yourself you claim to care about. A famous samurai master once warned that the sword that waits for perfect conditions never leaves its sheath. In other words, those who wait until they feel completely ready may spend their entire lives waiting. Most laziness is not caused by lack of ambition. It is caused by resistance to discomfort. Human beings naturally avoid difficult beginnings. We fear failure, exhaustion, uncertainty, and slow progress. But discipline is not the absence of resistance. Discipline is the decision to move despite resistance. True strength is revealed precisely when conditions are imperfect. Anyone can act when inspired. Anyone can work when energy is high and emotions feel strong. But the people who truly shape their lives are those who continue acting even when they feel nothing at all. The samurai way of overcoming laziness was surprisingly simple. Start small, repeat daily, ignore emotion, trust routine more than motivation. A warrior does not ask whether he feels like training. He trains because training is part of who he is. That mindset changes everything. When your actions become tied to commitment instead of emotion, progress stops depending on temporary feelings. Success becomes inevitable because consistency replaces hesitation. The ancient warriors understood something modern society often forgets. Feelings are temporary, but habits shape destiny. Motivation fades. Discipline remains. And in the end, the difference between the person who changes their life and the person who stays trapped in dreams is often very small. One waits to feel ready. The other begins anyway.